Hello friends, my name is Dean Miller.
And I'm Mal Spain, and we are your fuck buddies. What a demure little clink we did.
I know. I was just thinking. I was like, we've grown so much.
We have
since we started. Before we were like, that was our big fucking joke, our big guffaw. Where look at us, cheers our glasses,
real funny boys.
Now we're like, no, this is business time.
Yeah.
Clink.
Also, like, we don't need our glasses to speak for us. We can speak for our fucking selves.
Exactly. And hey, here, while we were talking about being professional when we introduced the podcast, maybe I should actually introduce the podcast for the first time in like a month. We're a dating and sex advice show where we take your sticky, sexy situations and then turn them into sexy, sticky situations. Did I say that right?
I didn't even listen. I was
Fuck.
trying to...
I'm gonna do it again just in case I did.
I say leave it.
Okay.
Wallow in your mess. Like when you lied to me last week.
Oh, yeah, like when I told you that I did, in fact, say 18 years old.
Yeah, when you said 48, you fucking
did say
piece...
48.
Brought me on a wild ride.
I'm sorry.
I had to rewind the podcast when I listened again to listen again. Even, I got messages off listeners about it.
I know.
They're like, he did lie to you, Niall. And I was
did.
like, yeah, I know.
Look, guys, I edit it. I hear it. I'm the first person to hear it.
I was the first person to hear it.
Well, I mean, I'm the first person to listen back to it.
You lied.
To confirm.
But yeah,
Look,
thank you. Thank you for your support during that hard time because I was betrayed by someone I love.
I didn't think I said it.
So that's actually our first question. I was betrayed by someone I love in a closet while we were recording a podcast. He made me think that
betrayal.
He made me think a 48-year-old woman not only lived alone lived with her parents still, but also wanted to fuck a 17-year-old boy.
I think I was looking at the F for the female, and the F influenced the 48. I don't know. I don't know what happened.
That's okay.
It happened, and I'm sorry. I apologize.
That's okay. I love you still.
Do you have a question for us?
You go first.
Okay, this is by Reddit user JackLove11. I'm getting married, and she wants cum. Everyone, me and my fiance, always pulled out. She's on birth control, but we were getting married in 1 month. She told me she would love I came inside her on our wedding night. I haven't given her an answer yet. I know birth control is effective, but why do I have to come in her? I'm fine with pulling out, like I've been doing for the past 4 years. It doesn't make a difference to me. I want to keep pulling out to be extra safe. What should I do? Why does she want this all of a sudden?
I love how suspicious this guy is. But hey, maybe you're right. Is she still on birth control? Maybe she wants that marriage baby.
Well, I mean, I think that's 100% what she's hinting towards.
Nah, well, no, not necessarily. It could be that she, like, some people have fetishes involving cum,
yeah,
or fantasies, or even just like the dirtiness of it, or like the intimacy of it. Could be that's what she wants, or conversely, it could be that she has heard that men like to finish inside people, and she wants to give him that gift. Like maybe she's like, oh no, I don't know if he'll bring it up.
Well, I don't think necessarily. I don't think there's just inherently like a manipulation thing here. I also wouldn't not believe that this was her opening the door for trying for a baby. I mean, they're getting married. They're like, you know what I mean? This might be her being like, you know, let's give it a go. I'm not insinuating that she might be like, you know, maliciously, you know, offer birth control, and this is sort of like her big, you know, gambit to be like, it's a miracle we got pregnant on our wedding night, and it's beautiful, it's your miracle baby. But I think if there's any hesitation in you, one, you're not obligated to do this at all.
No.
You have no obligation to satisfy this, even if it is a kink, even if it's something that she really wants. It doesn't matter if you're not comfortable with it.
Yeah.
Also, if you're not comfortable with the risk of, even if she's on birth control, if you're not comfortable with the possibility of having a child with her, do not do this.
Yeah.
If
the only like precaution you're taking other than birth control is pulling out, it's not exactly as if that's risk-free either. So
yeah, I think there's a much greater chance when you're
I know.
doing
I'm just
full
pointing,
act of.
I'm pointing out that like it's, you know, if you're suddenly like freaking out like, oh, I might, like, there's really not too much, because if you took the birth control out of the equation, we'd be telling you to do neither.
Right.
You know.
But I think the most important thing would be to talk to her and maybe, you know, express your reservations for the idea.
Yeah.
And I think you might being like, hey, look, I don't have a problem with it, but I'm also very concerned about it leading to a pregnancy.
Yeah.
And then if she says, well, that's kind of what I want, then there's a conversation you probably should have had before you got engaged.
Yeah.
But also, If she's just like, oh, cool, I thought it was just something you might really be into, or oh, cool, it's something that like I'm kind of into that
Yeah,
that
like,
idea.
If it's something she wants to do, that could be great for you because you can add like this little extra spice. Again, if you're comfortable with it, like
yeah,
what Dane says stands for the entire thing. Like, don't do it unless you're comfortable, right? If she isn't necessarily into it, but she's kind of doing it because she thinks you want it, but you don't really care, then that could also be something cool to get out of the way. Because if she doesn't really want to do it, then you're saving both of you the hassle, right? Have a talk to her. Like, you're gonna have a better idea than we do, us being the general public and or two podcast boys, and she's gonna have a better idea than you, her being the person suggesting it. So talk to her.
Also, this is a great time to sort of, you're entering into a committed life together, hopefully.
Yeah, maybe talk about babies, guys.
It's not even that. Maybe just figure out, like, if your first recourse or like your first course of action is to turn to the internet full of strangers before addressing the woman you're going to marry.
In also like kind of a suspicious tone as well.
Yeah. So like I think you need to sort of realize that this is going to happen a lot. And not this specifically, but like maybe situations where you might not know exactly what to do
or what she means 100% or why she's asking a thing.
That's why you talk to her. Like the only way that your marriage is going to last and be happy and successful is if every time these things come up, you have a very earnest and honest conversation about what's bothering you.
Yeah.
And if you don't, then you're in big trouble.
Yeah, because one, if you're waiting on the internet to get back to you, it could be a day or two. At that point, she's like, why hasn't he talked to me? Like, what's going on?
Yeah.
But secondly, have you read some of the fucking advice on Reddit? It's horrendous.
Yep.
You don't want to be taking people's word too often. Ours, of course, is amazing.
Yeah, I mean, yes.
Even though we are not perfect, as we say a lot. So we are also incredible and perfect, but we're not.
But like in comparison to the general internet public,
I would hope so.
We are pristine.
Yeah, we are pristine. We're shiny.
Yeah.
But no, get that conversation going. And hey, if you want to do it. It's fun.
I've never done it. I just feel like that's tempting fate too much. I feel like that's just throwing it in fate's face. I feel like fate's face is inside the vagina.
Yeah, but fate's into it. That's the thing. You've been pissing fate off.
I don't think so.
And you're going to have one of those, like, sneeze in a hot tub, makes you come, and then no one's even in the hot tub, so you don't even think you need to clean it. But then someone else gets in the hot tub, and it's been that perfect temperature. The semen's still alive.
The perfect semen.
Yeah. Now you got some boy's butt pregnant, and now it's just shame.
Then you got fucking Junior 2.
Exactly. Arnold Schwarzenegger's having a Dane come out his butt. He's going to die from rug burn because that baby's coming out fully bearded.
Oh, man. I need fan art of this, guys. I need fan art
we do
immediately.
Not need this.
I need a picture of me being birthed out of Arnold Schwarzenegger's ass. All right, hit me with a question.
Okay. This is U5. Our name checks 02. My girlfriend, 19, cares a lot about her snap streaks on Snapchat. Days where we consecutively send a snap to someone. Would it be petty of me to book a weekend away deliberately where there is no Wi-Fi/reception? So my girlfriend is very attached to her phone, which for the most part I'm fine with. I get ignored a lot of the time, and she'll have to repeat things 2 or 3 times will have to repeat things 2 or 3 times because she is so engaged with her phone. There are nights where you're laying in bed together cuddling, and she will get up, go over to her phone, and send a blank screen to the people she has an ongoing streak with, just for the keep of Jesus, I'm doing a Dane.
And how?
Just for the sake of keeping that streak going. Some of these streaks are 700 plus days, much longer than she has ever known me for. There has only been one time when we have been somewhere together. There's no reception. It was so nice to have her undivided attention for once. I'll come back to that. That is the reason why I would go for a getaway which has no signal, so it can be just me and her, no distractions. But with that will come the inevitability of her losing all her streaks on Snapchat, and I think it would really bother her. I don't know what to do. If I tell her in advance there will be no signal, I feel she may turn it down and not want to go.
Man, I feel this. Red Dead Redemption Online has like streaks going, and it takes a while to build up. And
it's true.
And let me tell you, it's one of those things where you're just like, fuck, there goes my, 5-time multiplier on my gold bars.
That's the thing. I kind of get it. It's like,
but here's the thing: you don't get shit from snap streaks. It's not like you get bonus snap points.
You get warm fuzzy feelings, and you get to rub it in people's faces.
Not a gold bar though. Just saying.
Thing is though,
can't use it to upgrade my horse, can I?
He said they went away somewhere that had no data, but the snap streaks have been going on longer than she's known him.
Yeah,
that doesn't check out.
Why?
there was no data. Yeah, maybe she did in the morning and did it later on the next day, but maybe not. Maybe she has secret data. Maybe she's an alien. Maybe it's fake. Has she been a fucking snap faker this whole time? It's like doping in the Olympics. It's fucked.
Wait a minute, yeah.
That's the thing. She never missed a day. How'd she not miss a day if they were somewhere with no data once? And it was nice.
Right. If the streak was longer than he knew her, then at some point in time, yeah.
Right? She must have snuck out in the middle of the night, found somewhere with Wi-Fi, and then, see, now that's a problem. Now it's an addiction. But to answer this question, if you're specifically doing a trip just to ruin your girlfriend's snap streak, that's fucking wild, my dude. And that's the funniest thing I've ever heard in my life. What are you doing? If it's a problem, talk to her about it. There's no need to be this weirdly petty.
Yeah, if anything, what you should do is hide her phone. It's so much cheaper.
It's so much cheaper. It's wild to me. Like, that's such a petty, weird thing to do when, guess what? You could communicate something to her. Like, if she only has to send one blank text a day, that's not going to fuck your day up. So the snap streaks aren't the problem.
Well, I think the problem inherently is the fact that she ignores him. Mm-hmm. Like the snap streak seems to take precedent over like physical intimacy.
Well, the thing is, he was saying like one time gets up, does the thing, comes back to bed. Like, sure, that might be weird, but I wouldn't count that as like an annoyance or like an ignoring thing. But it also seems to be a separate issue that she's on her phone too often.
Yes.
Unless she has like 90 snap streaks that she has to like, because 90 times of doing that, sure, in one day, that's a lot. If it's just like once a day, she goes boop, 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 sends off her streaks. Yeah. That's not the problem. So you breaking these isn't going to be an issue. You talking to her about her fucking phone usage, sure, that's the problem. I get it. It sucks when you're like with someone and they're just like, I'm miming what I do when Dane's talking when I'm trying to find a good question next, but that's just because I love you guys.
I think the issue, you're right. The snap streaks don't mean anything. It's not a thing at all. I think it is. I think this guy's, hoping that if he breaks a streak, it'll sort of be like, that's what's got their like enchanted claws wrapped around her, where it's like, if he can break the streak, he can break the spell, and all of a sudden she's not going to be furiously on Instagram or Twitter or TikTok.
I will say it does kind of work for Apex though. When I went on a trip and came back and like I hadn't got my dailies for like 7 days, I'm like, oh, I don't care.
Yeah.
But then once you start again, you're like, shit, gotta get them dailies. Yeah, he's trying to cure a symptom, not the cause, not the disease.
Not the disease. And the disease is phones.
The disease is the 21st century.
Yeah, goddamn millennials. That's what the disease is.
Yeah, no, it's just talk to her. Just fucking, like, that's not going to fix things. But it is a hilarious idea, and I think that I want you to do this and not listen to our advice. I just want to follow your life of ever-escalating petty things, because that is a wild amount of effort to put into something so petty. I want to be there when you tell her that there is no Wi-Fi, so that she can freak out about the snap streaks or not. Because it's not going to be in the middle. She's not going to be like, oh, the snap streaks. It's either going to be like, what the fuck? Or I literally don't care.
Yeah.
And either one I want to be there to see.
I wish he, broke down how it was the first time. Like, if he was like, oh, she had a meltdown the whole time. Well, maybe
that's why it was only one night.
But here's the thing. He didn't say that. He said it was nice to have her undivided attention.
Yeah, she didn't seem to care.
Like, obviously, like, if the streaks were that important to her, he wouldn't have her undivided attention because she'd be, stressed about that. But the thing is,
she knew she could go drive to Dunkin' Donuts 17 miles away, get that sweet, sweet Wi-Fi, and fucking throw an empty screen to your girl.
Yeah.
Either way.
Maybe who the snap streaks are with is the problem. Maybe there's like a hunky dude who's...
But like, if it's been 700 days and you're still together, I think you're good, bud. And you're not gonna get any further by...
What if he's seen the snaps that he's sending her?
But
it's all shirtless pictures.
Picture this. They go on this trip. He doesn't tell her. She loses the snap streak to get back. And like, that was their way of sating their sexual tension. It's like, oh yeah, we got that streak. Oh my god, that streak's getting higher. You're getting those little like, those little flame things. No, but without that, they're not going to have it, right? Because you have to go a few days before it even pops up on your Snapchat, I think. I haven't used it in a long time. But I'm like, shit, now we've tried not fucking, and the only way to do that is snap streaking. Now we're going to have to actually fuck. to get rid of this sexual tension. It's
Then
like,
you shouldn't
okay.
be with these people in the first place. This isn't. That's
But
not
no,
a-
they're coping. That's like saying you're in Alcoholics Anonymous and you're not drinking, but then you like lock someone in a bar, and they're like, "Well, this is a law of temptation." You're getting rid of their snap streak. That's their coping mechanism.
So, no, that's not how this works at all.
You don't know.
That's like me saying, like, oh, I got a real hard on for one of the girls at work, and the only way for me to not fuck her is just like,
Snap streak.
yeah,
That's
but
what they're for.
what do we don't know what the snaps are.
They're blank screens.
No, that was a one-time
Wait, what
thing.
if the blank screens are like activation codes? And they're like a splinter cell. Oh my god. What if they're like a fucking sleeper cell, and if she doesn't snap streak them, it's like speed. If she doesn't, if she
yeah.
drops below a certain
Snap
streak,
streak, yeah.
boom, they
bus
activate.
explodes.
They assassinate the fucking
Maybe
state senator.
she's pretty much, it's like the fucking button from Lost. Like,
Yeah, exactly.
If
There's
she
a polar
stops-
bear and some smoke.
If she stops pressing that button,
The airplane
the world ends.
flies away again.
You need to watch Lost.
Yeah, dude. What if this kills everyone?
Maybe she's
She's the only one
Keeping-
stopping Trump from hitting the nuclear button.
saving us all.
Yeah.
My God, man, don't take her away from this.
Don't do it. But like, just really don't. That's a very petty, weird thing to do. Communicate.
This is posted by Reddit user Curious but Needs Help. Boyfriend's new kink makes me feel unloved. Okay, so my boyfriend, 24-year-old male, and I, 22-year-old female, have been together for 5 years, and lately we've been trying to explore sexually, and I recently noticed that he was talking about doing things in public places. Although I said I was okay with it being kind of risky, but I'd never want to do it in a place I knew we had a chance of being caught. He keeps saying, "What if someone saw?" Or, "That'd be so risky. No way no one would see," and get more turned on.
No way, no one would see. So someone would see.
Yes.
So someone
like,
would see.
Yes. He'd be like, "Oh, that's so risky. There's no way someone wouldn't see." And he would get more turned on. I had to explicitly tell him I didn't want anyone to see me naked, and I don't like it when there's actually a chance of being seen. And he said, "Oh yeah, I was just trying to find out your limits. I don't want that either. You're all mine." I don't believe him, because he seemed like he would be very into it if someone saw me. I feel like he doesn't mind other people seeing me naked, and it upsets me. I don't know if it's making any sense, but I feel like he doesn't love me.
That's a wild twist.
Yeah, and that's kind of why I brought it.
Yeah, like I don't think someone being like, "I don't mind someone seeing you naked," means that they don't love you. But also, I don't think he's saying he doesn't mind if someone sees you naked. For him, clearly the thrill is like the risk.
Yeah, and like also voyeurism is
Yeah.
a pretty common kink. So like even if he was sort of like, you know, dipping his toes, testing the water and being like trying to see if you're into it.
Yeah.
And then you were like, you know, absolutely not. I'm not into, like, if someone can see me naked, I don't want to do it. And he's like, oh, okay, well, like, you know, just want to
Yeah.
see. And he like clearly said that he's
Well,
like,
that's the
just trying
thing,
to
yeah.
test your limits. And it's like, that's fine. That's kind of how like kinks work.
And also how like conversations go. Like
Yeah.
he kind of proffered an idea. You said no, and he said, "Okay, cool."
Yeah. Okay. I was just trying to see how far we can go.
Yeah, like maybe he's down, which again doesn't mean he doesn't love you at
Yeah.
all. The fact that he was, hey, communication, we've talked about it once or twice on this podcast. He did it, and then seems like he responded well to what you said.
Yeah, it would be different if you know, what you were saying was, I said no, and now every time we're out, he follows me into the bathroom and tries to fuck me in, like, the bathroom
Yeah.
of the bars we go to. Or, like, you know, he'll pull me down alleys and try to finger me while we're out in public, even though I don't want to. Like,
Or,
if
like-
that was the situation, yes, I would understand your leap to, I don't think he loves me, or I don't think he respects me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, he's treating me more like an object of, you know, his way of satisfying a kink.
Yeah, or even like the opposite. If he was like, "No one can see you naked. You're mine. I own you." Like that would be a problem too, because that kind of
Yeah.
seems to be what you want. Which I would like. If the question was the other way around, I'd be like, "No, this is wrong." Like someone seeing you naked, depending on how it goes down, obviously,
Yeah.
doesn't mean that, you know, like if someone saw you naked and he was freaking out because you were his, that would be an issue.
Yeah.
Like just because he doesn't mind if someone sees you naked doesn't mean, like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no,
it's fucked.
like that kind of thing, especially the statement of like being like, I don't think he loves me because of what I think he thinks. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? But it's also that's not sort of like the metric in which you should be judging how someone makes you feel. It should be by their actions.
Yes.
And
The actions here are him communicating and him accepting your wishes.
Yeah, and then, and it's like, again, yes, he might have, maybe he was really hoping you'd be like, fuck yes, maybe next time we're in the movie theater, I'm going to give you a little hand job. Next time we're somewhere, you can finger me in the bathroom, or whatever, you know what I mean?
And like risky public sex, that's fine. That's super cool, but if you're not into it and he's willing to respect that, hell yeah.
If
it's
anything,
all good.
That is indication that he does love you.
Yes.
Because he's respecting your wishes. It doesn't sound like he's pushing it.
Nope.
He might just be, constantly being like, I mean, there might be a fine line. It depends. Again, if he's, every time you're out, he's like, hey, maybe we should go to the bathroom. Like, it could be, and that's
like
more
if
of
you've
like
answered him and
pestering.
he still keeps pestering you, obviously that becomes its own issue, but that might just, that's a thing that you're not talking about.
Yeah.
What you're talking about is feeling not loved because he insinuated that he wouldn't be upset if somebody saw you naked, which is fucking wild.
Also, I feel like you're young, right? They were young?
I'm young enough, yeah. Why? What's up?
Yeah, she's 22. When you're having sex in public, it's rare that you're naked.
Yeah,
like you're not stripping all the way down when you're having public
Let's
sex.
go back to sneaky dad advice. Same holds here. You want to be able to stuff it away at a moment's notice.
Yeah.
Like, it's a kind of a dress / skirt with no underwear, or underwear that can be easily pulled to a side kind of deal.
Yeah.
It's not like a get naked, lie down, and missionary in full view of like 18 apartment complexes.
Unless you're at like a sex club where, that's
at which
the
point,
norm.
then it would be almost weirder if people couldn't see.
Yeah.
Ooh, that could be a fun game. Like like public sex, where you go somewhere where you're meant to have sex and you try to be real sneaky so no one sees you.
But here's the thing: most sex clubs have private rooms.
Well, that ruins my fun.
If you want to reach a compromise, there's no harm in that. There's no harm in going to a sex club, and maybe like you'll be able to sate his desires of voyeurism because he'll be able to watch other people, or at least like see it happening in the peripheral. And then you guys can go to a private room, and you're still doing it in a place where like, yes, you're supposed to, but like you're not supposed to. You know what I mean? Like you're still out and about and like
edgy
in a business and you know what I mean? It's like it's a change of pace that I think would be very easy for you to get on board with.
Yeah.
And it might be enough to sort of, scratch that little voyeurism itch.
See, the thing is, I think she's feeling something bad about, like, this suggestion is bringing up bad thoughts in her head. So whether it's self-consciousness or like embarrassment or shame or something, she's feeling those at the thought of doing this, and then she's kind of redirecting those bad feelings towards him instead of dealing with what she thinks and why she thinks that. Because like I get it. Like, some people aren't comfortable with that stuff, but like, you're allowed to be not comfortable with that. But it doesn't mean someone doesn't love you.
Yeah.
Like, I feel that's a classic. Like, you're feeling something bad, and instead of like thinking about and rationalizing it and doing all this stuff, you're like, this guy doesn't love me.
Yeah, it's enough. Like, again,
does it say how long they've been dating for?
5 years.
Yeah, definitely doesn't love you.
Yeah. Like, I think, like, if this was a deal breaker, and you're saying that you wanted to explore things. Like, this seems like the whole situation came about as, like, they say they're recently trying to explore, sexually.
So it's like it didn't even come out of nowhere.
Yeah, you've
either.
opened the door.
Even
and
if
like,
it had, that would have been fine because it's been done respectfully. But
yeah, and like after 5 years, I get it. You want to find maybe a new angle, something new to freshen things up. Great. There's no harm in sort of like, especially again, what he's done here seems like the right way to do it. We've talked about addressing kinks. A ton of time, and this is pretty much how it's done. Like, you kind of lay your hand on the table and be like, this is what I'm into. Would you be into this? Would you be into that? How about this?
And then you take their answer.
Yeah, and you test the waters, and like, if they're like, yeah, maybe, it's like, okay, well, what about this? Because like, again, the way he could have brought this up could have been following you into the bathroom the last time you were at the bar. You know what I mean?
Or he
and
could
like,
have just not taken no for an answer. Or he could have like,
while you guys are out at dinner with your family, he's like
start fingering you.
Exactly. Like, there's a number of things that he could have done
instead of raising it up appropriately. And the thing is, I thought maybe an issue in this might be like, if it was a newer relationship, she might be like, this is what he's into and blah blah blah. But like, it's been 5 years. I think you have a fairly good idea of how things are.
Yeah.
Like, so okay, this question's wild. I'm sorry, you are just so wrong. Yeah,
I don't take people's actions as a way to like a metric on how to judge how they feel
Yeah.
about you. And if what they're doing is done with respect and kindness and honesty, it's not that's the best sign you could ever get from someone that they care about you.
Yeah, that's insane. In a good way. It's not a good way. I just don't want to say insane because we're not allowed to do that. Cut all that. You ready for this?
Yep.
This is by Don't Touch My Plum Bob.
Yeah, don't do it.
90. I'm doing it, Dane. What is wrong with me?
I don't know.
29-year-old female received a text from my boyfriend, 29-year-old male. He claims he didn't send. The past 2-3 months, my boyfriend of 3 years, we'll call him R, has been noticeably passive-aggressive, often in a crappy mood and very quiet, yet claims nothing is wrong when I ask. I'm sure you've all been there when you ask someone multiple times if something is wrong and they say no even though body language and tone clearly indicate otherwise. We rarely ever fight. We've had one major fight in our relationship, otherwise everything has been good. In the past few months we did get a new puppy. He is very unhappy at work and his father is diagnosed with cancer. So I've tried to be very forgiving and understanding that he might just be going through a lot right now. He is not one to openly speak a lot about his emotions, so I've also tried not to pry too much and let him just know I'm here for him. 2 nights ago, at a breaking point because he yelled at our puppy for something stupid. I decided enough is enough and I told him we need to talk. I asked him straight up what his problem is. I told him lately, I feel like me and our dog are just an annoyance and he's always moody and snappy. He told me he's frustrated with our dog and our dog's more work than expected and it's honestly not poorly behaved, doesn't have an aggressive bone in his body, and we take him to obedience classes. So he's just a normal puppy, and he should have known that it would be work when we got him. But I get it, he can be a handful at times. While I feel his feelings are valid, something in my gut tells him there's more to this. Anyway, now the text. He fell asleep on the couch last night watching TV, so this morning, around 4:30 a.m., I received a text from him saying, "And that drink looks so good." Obviously not meant for me. I confronted him this morning and asked him who he was texting and having a conversation with at 4:30. I mean, it's an innocent enough text, but I find it very bizarre, and obviously someone sent you a photo. He claimed he didn't send it. He opened his phone, showed our text conversation, and it wasn't there. I mean, I want to believe him, but I'm a logical person. I gather if you sent a text to your girlfriend by accident, you meant to send somewhere else, and you had something to hide, you would obviously delete it. He acted confused, started Googling the possibility of receiving texts without sending them, etc. He told me I need to trust him. I'll explain why I have issues about this. A year and a half ago, I discovered he'd been using Omegle on his laptop rather than regular porn spelt wrong. For people who don't know, it's a video chat where you connect and around the person often used for you can imagine. At the time I found out, I was furious, blah, 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 blah. I want to believe this text was meant for me and somehow just showed up now, or maybe his phone spoofed. Am I in denial? Am I overreacting?
So it's funny you mentioned this because, like a week ago, there was this huge flood of a bunch of random people getting random texts from people, like from years ago, or like I don't remember the time frame, but
no, this is literally exactly what happened. I was hoping you didn't know that because we would, in any other situation, I would look at this question and be like, yeah, that's fucking insane. Like he obviously was just like texting someone and like, being a little creepy, and everybody in the comments was for a little bit, but then someone was like, wait, this happened to me, and someone else was like, this happened to me, and it went from there. And then like I looked it up and there was like a whole cell phone thing.
Yeah, there was this thing where,
all over North America and Canada.
Oh, see, I thought it was only Canadian carriers.
No, it was both.
Cool.
And apparently a lot of the texts were from February 14 that got resent. So a lot of them had like romantic overtones or whatever, and people were freaking out. And then their partners were saying, so I thought we'd go through this like it was a normal question, and then I could drop the reveal but you're too well informed.
I'm on it. I'm on that game.
So I'm just going to say, if you have a dodgy boyfriend, you got to trust him.
Yeah.
Just in general now. You can, like, even your tele-fucking-com companies are trying to get your boyfriend to give him excuses. Now you never know.
The thing that sucks is just like, out of law of averages.
Oh my God.
Someone fucked up that night and is actually a piece of shit and was like, baby, look, please, baby, look.
And they were like,
it happened.
Thank God.
Yeah.
But also, there was a totally innocent marriage ended that night.
Oh, 100%.
Because she got a message at 4 a.m. being like, I fucking love you so much, baby. I can't wait to take you upstairs or something. And she was like, who the fuck?
Yeah.
Like,
did I ever tell you about how I ruined my friend's parents' marriage?
Oh, no.
I mean, 100%, I didn't do anything. I mean, I was just sort of I was the breeze that knocked the Jenga tower over. So we were filming a thing up by their house.
Oh God!
And I had left my coat there because it was chilly in the morning, and then as it got throughout the day, it got really warm. So I put my coat in the house. And then we headed back to Toronto, and I forgot the coat there.
Oh, and he thought it was some other guy.
No, it was like
It was a lady's coat.
it was like a military surplus,
Yeah.
like a green like military jacket. She was like, that was kind of her aesthetic. She was much younger than him as well. So she had like a very, very similar like military surplus coat. But my coat had
condoms in it.
multiple condoms in it. And he had a vasectomy.
Oh no.
So why would she need condoms?
Oh no.
So it ended up being this huge fight, and like she was obviously saying, it's not my coat, those aren't my condoms.
Yeah.
And it just sort of like spiraled into whatever the hell else was happening in that relationship, and they as a result ended up getting a divorce.
See, that's really shitty because it's one of those things where like it seems like she's just saying that because you've been caught and there's nothing else to say, and you're like, "Well, it's not mine."
Yeah,
Like,
I mean,
I
also,
didn't send that text.
do you think
Like,
you'd be
wink.
able to just like pull out both coats?
Probably, yeah, or just be like,
But I mean, I guess it's like if you can't find, like with my luck, if that was my situation, I would have like that day
accidentally
left
dropped
my coat
condoms
somewhere.
in her coat.
No, you know what I mean? It's like I would have lost
Yeah.
the coat a week earlier.
I would like if it was me in an argument and someone was saying, I'd be like, cool, like, has anyone been over in the house? And then my son would be like, yeah, my friend, is this his coat? Yup. He'd be like,
Yeah.
okay, cool, love you.
Well, I mean, that's kind of what happened when we got back, because it was pretty much the beginning of summer.
Yeah.
So like I didn't need a coat anymore.
Yeah.
And then one day I was looking for it for another film shoot, and I was like, fuck. I was like, I think I left my coat at your parents' place.
And he was
sure
like,
enough-
cool, thanks for like
And
ruining
sure enough,
my
they
entire
texted,
family.
and they were like, oh,
Did they get back together? after
nope.
that? Well, you know what? I'm hoping there were other issues because
I would say that, yeah, there were other issues. Like if that's
I don't know, like fights can spiral. Like if you are
that's what I mean.
like
It's,
if you're 100% innocent and someone is accusing you of something, that's the worst feeling.
yeah.
And you're gonna get pretty fucking angry. But if you see what looks like a cut and dry case, you're gonna also feel pretty fucking angry. So
Yeah.
I'm sure things were done and said that even if the relationship was good at that point, like things can escalate
Oh,
because
100%,
both people 100% believe they're in the right because I guess kind of they are to a degree. I don't understand why no one was like, is this not someone's thing? Also, was there just condoms in there?
I mean, like,
Nothing
yeah,
but condoms?
I had a lot of condoms in there.
Like, why?
no,
Well,
no, I there was probably like maybe two
Did
or
you have
three.
like anything that might be like, oh, it's a Dane? Like, I don't
No.
know, your weird ass headshots, or like, I just imagine you carried them around in all your
No,
pockets.
No, my coat
They're the
pockets
best.
weren't big enough.
We need to put them up.
But yeah, that's how I ruined a marriage. This comes from Reddit user Good Christian Boy 69. Seducing my girlfriend without fucking her. Hey Reddit, tonight I want to seduce my girlfriend without my penis being inside of her. I hope some of you might have any tips because I'm inexperienced. I licked her a few times and finger her often, but tonight I really want to indulge her. Maybe you have some ideas what I can do or some techniques. Everything is appreciated. I'm willing to try everything so she has a great time. Thank you for helping.
I love this.
Yeah.
Although when he says I licked her a few times, I just imagine he literally
Yeah,
just
I mean-
went to her cheek and was like,
It started as me being like, this is going to be funny.
Yeah.
And then I was like, oh, okay, no. So like I don't have an age for anyone here.
okay,
But I'm going to
imagine
assume that it's
young enough,
younger and they probably don't want to have sex yet.
or it's just like a fun, like maybe he just wants to, because hopefully we've all done this. I don't know, listeners, have you? There's like he just wants like a night about them, or like he just
Yeah.
wants to really like make it their thing. Like maybe
My context clues are good Christian boy. I'm
Oh,
thinking
fair.
that
Okay.
I'm thinking
Well-
it might be he doesn't want to have sex,
yeah,
but he still wants to just like
rock
fucking
that
her
world. Well, that's the thing.
And
So
I think that's a great idea.
you need to play a game, and that game is anytime she tries to touch your dick, you say no, and then you take it slow, like unbearably slow.
Mm-hmm.
Like you start with kissing for a long time. Maybe you strip her off entirely naked, but you still got your clothes on. Maybe you kiss from her neck down, and you like focus on her neck, focus on her tits, focus on you don't get to the clit or the vagina at all for a long time. Go near, play with those legs, play anywhere else, and then like just take everything slow so that they are like achingly horny by the time you get anywhere. And then like first time, finger her till she comes, or like rub her clit. Second time, go with your tongue. And like depending on how sensitive she is, you can go like achingly lightly with your tongue because it's gonna be so sensitive by then anyway that you can just like rock out another one with like minimal effort and then just make the whole thing about her.
Yeah, I mean, like it doesn't even have to necessarily. I mean, depending on how the night is structured, like you can start with like just a really good massage.
True.
You know what I mean?
Maybe a
And,
dinner,
like,
maybe a fucking cup of tea. Like you can do everything.
yeah, like seduction. It doesn't have to be just sex stuff. It can be like literally anything.
Yeah.
It could be, you know what I mean? Having her watch her favorite movie and
in fact, like
making her favorite dinner.
all those
and
things are
picking
going
her up at
to
work.
add to each other.
Yeah, like the anticipation is a big part of sexual chemistry.
And yeah, and then you go,
so like you can structure a whole night figuring out all the things that you like, all the little puzzle pieces, and then the sexual satisfaction is just sort of like, you know, the final piece in the middle that's like super easy to figure out. You know what I mean? It's like
everything
it's the
is
most
gonna
distinguished piece. So like the whole night needs to be you finding the borders of the puzzle. You know what I mean? Finding the corner pieces because you know where those go. Boom, boom, boom. You know what her favorite meals. You know what her favorite movie is. You know what her favorite song is. Have a slow dance with her. You know what I mean? Like, whatever you think is appropriate. Again, I don't know how cheesy you want this to be.
The thing is, like, you could watch her favorite movie, and that would be great.
Yeah.
You could cook her favorite meal. Like, again, all separately, and that would be great. You could go down on her and take, like, a long time. That'd be great. Like, all those things. But if you put them all together, then you're not just giving her, like, this one thing or this other thing. It's, like, this whole fucking, like, experience. Like, she will look back and be like, a sex experience. She'll look back and be like, man, that was a fucking great night. And she'll just be happy. She'll sleep like a fucking brick. It'll be great. Bricks sleep very well.
Yeah, and like also, the pleasure
why
doesn't have
houses
to
don't
be,
fall over.
the sexual pleasure doesn't have to be like concentrated at one point in time.
Oh,
While
no.
you're waiting for dinner to cook, throw her up on the counter and go down on her. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then just be like, and then like nonchalantly just play it off. Just be like, okay, I think I gotta flip the chicken now. You know what I mean? And like that sort of like give and take and pull from like sexy time to sort of the mundane, I think would probably also, like, that would drive me crazy. You know what I mean?
But also, like, for the rest of the night, she's not going to know when you're going to strike again.
Exactly.
And that's going to be great. And you can even tell her, you can be like, this is going to happen again.
Yeah.
But then just go right back to the chicken and
Or
baste
even
it.
just be like, hey, what's your
And
least
you baste
favorite part of the movie we're about to watch? And be like, okay.
Yeah. Wink.
And then when that part comes on, you just sort of tip her over and go down on her again. And then like, but here's the thing: if you know there's a really good part after it, or if the thing, as soon as it ends, stop and just go back to watching the movie. Like, have as much fun as you want with this.
And like, if she's like, what? Just be like, tell me when your next least favorite part is coming up. And just like, have
so
a
much
good night
fun
and
you
you
can
have
have
fun
with
with it. She will have fun with it.
Yeah.
If you're doing it like a chore, no matter if you put her favorite movie on and make her best food, like, you know, if any part of it feels like a chore to you, it's going to feel like a chore to her.
Yeah.
If you're having fun with it, she's going to have a fucking blast. And you are too, obviously.
Yeah. So going back to like what you said, it also obviously discussed this beforehand, but restraining people is a great way to build sexual anticipation, because like when we feel good, we almost instinctually want to touch or, you know, sort of envelop people who are doing the good thing.
Yeah. And like reciprocate the favor.
And if you're not able to do it, it's there's that like level, there's that heightened level of sensitivity.
Yeah.
You're hyper aware of everything that's
well, you have
happening
nothing
to
to
you.
distract you either.
And that's the
it's
thing.
nothing but your pleasure.
You're pretty much the only, like, your focus is only on your pleasure, and the stimulus is that much more
intense. Like, your brain isn't going, well, I gotta grab him here and do this at this thing, and then you're like, oh, and he's enjoying this, and now this is the perfect thing, but oh, he's not, and they're sensitive, and
I like that we're both just miming jerking
just jerking
off.
people. Yeah, this is well, I guess we gotta leave the closet. No, the whole, just like, have fun with it. And like, even, you don't even necessarily need to restrain them, but if you tell them, like, get them in the position and be like, you can't move. And anytime they move, you stop.
Yeah.
Then, like, that, you know, that can almost be as good, if not better, depending on, like, the situation. You know, you might not have something to restrain them with properly, but, like, if you're literally like, you cannot move.
Yeah.
And then the second they do, you stop. That's the punishment, right? That's the restraint, is that every time they move, you stop, and they're, like, going crazy.
Or the same thing with, like, you're not allowed to make a sound.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The second I hear a fucking peep out of you, I'm done.
Yeah.
And then like it's fun because like obviously when you start doing something good, she's gonna and be like, I'm sorry, what'd you say? Yeah, and then then you're playing with like you're opening up possibilities for future sexual encounters. You know what I mean? You are kind of setting up potential dom sub stuff. You're setting up the ability to introduce new sexual concepts and ideas and playfulness in a fun way and in a safe way, so that when you guys do start having sex, or even continue to do whatever you're doing now, she'll probably feel a little safer bringing up something that maybe she wants to try out because you trusted her and she trusted you. So maybe maybe there is something. Maybe she's into like butt stuff. Maybe she's, would be like, I really want to lick your butt, or maybe I want you to, you know what I mean? There's things that people are scared to broach because of social norms and stuff like that. And I think the earlier, again, I'm assuming you're younger, but the earlier in your life that you foster a healthy sexual appetite, and a respectful and a consensual sexual appetite, the better your life is going to be.
Yeah, well, it's like anything. The more you practice at it and the more work you put in and the more you like round out your experiences and stuff, like you're going to be better at it and you're going to be more well suited to it, right? Like if I've been playing tennis since I was 10, I'd be better at tennis.
Yeah.
And
it's just like you just become a more well-rounded person. You're
of course, because you care more about other people's shit. You're more empathetic. Like you're just,
It's like when people stick to one genre of music and like they refuse to acknowledge that other genres exist. You know what I mean?
That's
it's like,
insane.
If like you don't necessarily have to be it doesn't have to be your thing. You know what I mean? I'm not big into country.
Yeah, but I'm sure you've heard a country song that fucking rocked your world.
I can appreciate that people like country, and it's, you can equate that to a sex act. You know what I mean? Like,
I've heard Dane listen to Old Town Road like 17 times. So
yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah. Exactly.
Oh, I was using hypothetically.
Dane
country's
is
probably my least.
So into Old Town Road.
Country's probably my least favorite genre in and around there, but
you also think my tractor's sexy.
Yeah, hell yeah. Like if someone puts on a fucking dumb country song, I'll probably jam to it.
Whoa! Did you ever hear that one song about water?
That's my daughter in the water.
No.
No.
Then began my love affair with water. He's just really like swimming and like driving cars through water.
So, song you wrote?
No, it's literally true. It's amazing. It's an actual song. I will send it to you later. It's the best.
But you wrote it.
I listened to it and I was like, I really like
man
water,
gets
man.
it.
I really do.
This fucking guy.
Yeah, no, it's amazing.
All right, one more.
One more? Do you want? Should we talk about this? So this isn't really a question. This is a statement, and this statement was posted in the Seduction Reddit.
Oh no!
And this statement is by a woman.
Oh, okay.
And this statement says, "It's not you. Women just don't like to be approached in public."
Huh.
And the comments are real angry about that.
Like, yeah, I thought this was going to be. I recently found out there is a like red pill women subreddit, and yikes!
It's scary how many upvotes this got. Is this the continuation of old school fast seduction.com? Form handle will be rolling in as great. I don't know what that means, but people are so upset about this. Like wildly upset. To the point where like earlier on I had a lot more content for this, but they've all since been removed because I think the anger and the vitriol that was in these comments, even Seduction subreddit decided they needed to get rid of them.
Yikes.
Yeah. This poor girl was like, everyone was like, to be honest, sounds like you've already got a guy, so don't blow it for the rest of women out there. Yeah, I'm sure that's a woman saying that. I call bullshit. Like, nothing turns a woman on more than feeling desirable. Yeah.
I know. My favorite thing about people with that mindset is that, like, women will say something, and then they will be like, no, actually, here's what women want. I'm sorry, woman. I'm actually going to inform you what you want.
Yeah, which is why they get so many girls. They know better than the people that they're going up to. It's fuck. One day we could aspire to be like them.
Well, I remember,
but no, like it's fucking wild. They're literally like, "Shut up, you don't know anything." And she's like, "But I'm literally a girl who gets approached at the bus stop, and I hate that." And they're like, "You like being desired? Just tell us." It's like, what are you fucking talking about?
There was, I can't remember the name of his fucking name. But he set up like a sarging, and that's when you're like, you literally just approach every woman, that you can, as many as you can, in rapid succession. You just do it. So he was coming to Toronto to do a like seminar or whatever, and he was like, rally up, boys, we're going to the Eaton Center, which is like our big mall. He's like, we're gonna go to the Eaton Center and we're gonna Sarge right outside. I think it was like Forever 21 or something stupid like that. It's like, cool, so that's mostly teenage girls, you fucking weirdos. And their whole plan was to just like Sarge. But here's the thing.
Why is it called Sarging?
I have no idea.
Okay. Because like just the terms get me so hard because they all just sound so fucking dumb. Like
the problem. One thing is like if it's one dude and you're Sarging, that like it's dumb and it's fucking gross. But here's the thing. You're not approaching the same woman, right? So no one was really the wiser from it. The one woman is just like, oh, that guy hit on me, goes about her day.
Yeah.
Then another one, you know what I mean? So that guy's the only one, the common denominator here. But when you have 45 dudes all doing the same thing and the same
you take a
sort
step,
of like,
someone's like, hey.
But that's literally what was happening.
Yeah.
So a woman would come out of Forever 21 and a guy would approach her, and then she would take 4 steps and another guy would approach her, and then another guy would approach her, and it was all the same. Like
bullshit,
they're all so I'm sure they were all using the same more or less bullshit opener,
which also doesn't let you
whatever.
leave either, and probably involves grabbing you at some point, so you can't leave.
So what happened was that there was pretty much a bottleneck of people leaving Forever 21 and then being swarmed
Jesus
by.
Christ.
So what happened was a bunch of women like started tweeting about it and taking pictures of it and Instagramming it, and eventually security came and was like, you guys need to fuck off because you're literally harassing every woman and like you're touching them, and like so they all got.
But the thing is, these guys all know better than the women, right? So
well, I mean so security came in and was just
were
like,
men,
hey,
so they should have known.
Guys, these women don't know what they want. I'm going to direct you into the place where
the smart women are, where they know they like to be harassed when they're just trying to do things. Okay,
and then
great.
like the whole backlash of people being like, women are such cowards. Women are. It's like, I'm sorry, hold on. So you're saying that women are the ones who are in the wrong
when you're ambushing them en masse?
Because they're not appreciating what you think that women like. And I was like, so you're saying that every woman,
of course,
that you talked to was wrong because so I was like, so it's not your approach.
Also, wait,
it's
I'm sorry.
not your mentality. No. It is just those very somehow, the stars aligned, and it was just those specific women,
300 women who were just wrong.
Yeah.
What? Did they not take ladies course? Did they not learn how to be a lady?
Well, I don't. Here's my thing.
Also,
I was like, is this a brilliant marketing move for him to then be like, oh, did you not have any success? Come on over to my seminar. So I was like, is that your play? I really don't think it was. I really think this guy thought it was going to be like,
did you listen to my idea and it didn't work? Come listen to more of my ideas. They'll work.
Yeah.
But also, like, the irony of like going somewhere with like 44 other people to ambush people who have no idea what's happening and calling those people cowards.
Yeah.
Like, I could get 44 people and just like assault someone and be like, they're so weak.
Yeah.
Man, we beat the shit out of them. It's like, yeah.
He didn't even fight back.
You had 45 boys. Like, what are you talking about?
Yeah, it was one of the most like absurd, and that was sort of like the height of pickup. At that, like that was when like everyone.
You know what? No, that probably is about as good as it gets, and I'm talking like.
Well, it was before that, like there was because like even, excuse me, in the seduction subreddit there are still those people who are like, hey man, you need to chill out, and reflect on yourself. So there's like it was before that became a thing. You know what I mean?
I will say, like we talk a lot of shit about seduction, and like obviously you see things like this, and you're like, yes. There are, like, a lot of people who do post up being like, no, like, you should not do this obviously harmful thing, or no, like, blah, blah, blah. And there are some people in the comments supporting them. Like, I don't want anyone who's ever been involved in that Reddit thread to think that we're just, like, painting them all with the same stick. Like, I can see there are people in there, and I'm assuming the people who are in there know, because a lot of the time they're complaining about what people are posting, that what we're upset about is, like, the bullshit.
Yes.
Right? Like, if someone's like, yeah, you should, like...
It's like first wave pickup is what we're making fun of. And now there's, like, there is this sort of, like, new generation of people who have been like...
And some are still shit, but some are good.
Yeah, no, there are still people who are still hanging on to, like, the game. Even though the guy who wrote the game has come out and been like, guys, I was angry and confused, and I had literally no self-worth, and this book is bullshit.
But they know better than that guy.
Yeah.
No, I just like, I know it's annoying to be like, just wide statement, just like, fuck you guys. But like, I'm sure there's someone, if you ever hear it, I'm sure you're cool, hopefully.
Hopefully.
And if not, then get cool.
Yeah. Thank you very much for listening. It's been a pleasure. It's we've moved from like being really hot outside to making the closet warm to now it's cold outside, so my apartment is very warm. So now the closet is warm again.
No, I'm sweaty as hell.
There's that like 3-week period in between the seasons that's
almost
comfortable.
okay. Can you tell how hot we are based on how we talk and what we do?
I feel like
is there a certain moistness to our like
that scene in Mission Impossible where like the sweat drips off?
Blink.
And it like I feel like they can probably hear that.
Probably
they can probably hear the sweat rolling
sorry.
down us. But you know what? I'll sweat my hell like just my whole fucking.
He'll sweat his hell off.
My hell off. I was
just
gonna say.
For you.
I don't know what I was trying to say there. I'll sweat.
You know what? I will
forever.
sweat Dane's helmet off.
Yeah. Ooh.
Also, why are you wearing a helmet?
Safety first.
Yeah, it's fair.
We
got some
to bring you this podcast. What I'm trying to say is, I will sweat in the hellfire that is this closet every week to bring this podcast because it's fun to do. And,
but only if you guys like it.
And you know what? We appreciate the nice things you guys have been saying to us.
Mm-hmm.
If you have a question and you want us to answer it, you can do that. You can send us questions and we'll do that. You can find us on Facebook at facebook.com/FCK Buddies Podcast. You can find us on Twitter at FCK_buddies. You can also shoot us an email at fbuddiespodcast@gmail.com. You can find us online at fbuddiespodcast.com. And there's like a little contact form that you can like fill out and choose your agent name and send us to it. And so we will also get your questions that way. And we always give priority first to submitted questions, so we will answer them as soon as we possibly can.
Thank you to Josh Eagle and the Harvest Cities for their song Paper Stars. And thank you, shout out to Jacob for listening.
Thanks, Jacob.
Yeah. Oh, he was like, you guys drink when you record, right? I can tell. I was like, oh, no, take that as a good way. You guys ready? Oh God, dang.
Hold on, let me get comfortable.
Okay, you guys ready? So Steffi's Lusty Lovers is back. Are you comfy?
Yeah.
Are you ready to be traumatized?
I'm not ready, but I'm comfortable.
When Terry was standing stark naked before her, the 34-year-old divorcee slowly dropped to her knees on the floor in front of him. She studied his hard prick in her hand as she slowly brought her face to his sweet, musky crotch. His cock had that polished ivory quality she cherished, and Stephanie squeezed it affectionately as she snaked her tongue out of her mouth and flicked it against the swollen bulb at the tip of his throbbing shaft. How she loved the aroma of a clean youth's excited prick. It was so exciting, fresh, and virginal. Penis she was licking fondly had never been inside of a woman, she was certain. It was hers before anyone else's. And the flavor, freshly scrubbed, lightly scented, and delicate as fine cuisine. She licked the head of his penis like a lollipop. It tasted so good. Wow, the boy moaned when he felt her warm, wet tongue exploring his hot meat. Do you like this? She asked as she wrapped her fingers around the slender base of his prick and began licking up and down the length of his shaft. Yes. Oh, wow, yes, Terry moaned. Stephanie smiled. The odor and taste of his precious virginal prick sent tiny shivers of desire racing up and down her spine. She could feel her clit quivering between the lips of her cunt. Man, she loved this. She pursed her lips and brought them to the swollen head of the pulsing prick.
Why prick? Why do you keep saying prick?
Slowly drawing his exciting, delicious penis into her warm mouth. Stephanie brought her hand up between the boy's legs and cupped his balls in her palm. The churning inside his heavy testicles felt like the waves cresting on an angry sea. They were, she knew, ready to explode. The idea of having his load of hot sperm splash into her mouth made her quiver with anticipation.
This guy literally has no idea what testicles are.
His moans were punctuated with jerks of his body as the older woman licked and sucked his tingling meat. There you go. I just wanted to get to that balls bit because you liked it so much.
Why? Why just... I love that whoever wrote this thought that like the balls are just like a hive of activity, and I don't even think it's the ball. I think it's like the scrotum. I think it's just like he thinks the scrotum is just filled with semen.
I don't
just like roiling around in there.
I'm wondering, was it written by a woman because they have no idea what balls do, but at the same time, I can't imagine someone would denigrate their gender that much.
Or do you think it was written by someone who is 17?
Oh shit, maybe.
So
no,
like
maybe
that's
like
why, that's why he's like, oh, women love virgin dicks. Women
Yeah.
can't get enough of them.
Uh-huh.
Virgins are so fucking hot.
or you get the next something like a beautiful sentence like this on the next thing that makes me think maybe a poet wrote this.
Mm-hmm.
You kiss me on my cunt, Stephanie said, noticing a tremor in her voice as she watched the youth study her snatch.
Beautiful. Is that Keats?
Yeah, well, you know what's funny? So there's a foreword to this as well.
Written by the spirit of William Shakespeare.
Do you want to know what the first paragraph of this foreword is?
I have been resurrected from the grave to tell you about this fine literary works. Hear ye, hear ye.
Almost. A satirical humorist once said, society cripples people, then arrests them for limping. Whether it be society, circumstance, or nature that does the crippling, we have a tendency to look down upon those who limp, and we do it with little, if any, regard for the force that brought on the disability.
Shit. Oh, right, because she has
She's
like...
crippled.
Yeah, she has like a limp, right?
Yeah.
Because of big dick? Big dick injuries?
Just
Is that-
a big dick.
Um,
Because she waited till marriage, and you shouldn't do that. You should just fuck virginal youths.
yeah.
Yep, this is a twisted novel.
Do you have a Dan for us?
Yeah, I keep getting so lost in Steffi's bullshit. Dan says, stop chasing her. She will come back.
I mean, that's like...
It's the best.
It's halfway there.
Yeah.
Like, you should have quit
Just
while
do-
you're ahead.
Do the first 3 words.
Yeah.
Just do the first 3 words, Dad.
I almost feel like we don't need an after dinner mint, but this one's really good, so I'm going to do whatever.
We always need a minute.
I know it's true. This comes from Pornhub user, ya boy SpongeBob,
All right, I'm gonna head out.
and they say, it's no secret that the best thing about a secret is secretly telling someone your secret, thereby secretly adding another secret to their secret collection of secrets. Secretly. My name is Dave Miller,
And my name's The Secret.
and we are your secret fuck buddies.
Secret.